The year 2020 saw the world come to a grinding halt, and lives of millions came to a standstill. In such tough times, all that people are truly looking for is a glimmer of hope. As it is said, out of difficulties grow miracles, and offering a life changing opportunity with millions of dirhams to be won every week, including a chance of winning 50 million dirhams, is Mahzoos.ae, GCC's only weekly live draw that is dedicated to giving back to the community and making people's dreams come true. We have with us today eWing's co-CEO, Mr. Fareed Samji. Firstly, Mr. Fareed, I really want to thank you for speaking to Asianet Newsable. I want to congratulate you and your entire team for starting Mazoos.ae, which is proving to be the wings of countless people's dreams. So my first question to you would be, how has the reaction been to Mazoos.ae and has it met your expectations?
Well, thank you for having me on the show. We're delighted to be here. Um, there's a bit of background to Mazuz, and there has been a lot of effort that has gone on to come up with what you see as Mazuz today. We did launch in 2020 earlier in the month of April. At that time, the whole branding was around Emirates Lotto. Mazuz was actually the bird, the character that you see, the brand. Uh, we went on for about 3 months. It was a soft launch. And then we had a systems upgrade. We changed a lot of other things beyond just the system. It gave us very good insights into what our customers, the players, were wanting. We brought about those changes in the month in summer. It took us about 4 months to do it. But now, with a bit of retweaking, rejigging the branding, we have now come up with Mazuz. So why Mazuz is the question. Mazuz is an Arabic word which means luck. And this is what we are here for. Our ethos surround a central premise, which is changing lives. We change lives by inculcating a purchase of a product. Currently, it's a water bottle, which the buyer donates. We facilitate that donation. So we are hydrating the needy here. We've partnered with several bona fide NGOs who have this requirement, and we are bringing them and facilitating the free water bottles that are donated by the players. The winners have a life-changing environment. To date, we've had something over 58,000 winners in this short space of time. 58,000 winners from 129 nationalities, and we have paid out over 20 million dirhams already. And
Wow,
to a
that's
lot of
a
them,
huge amount when you look at it.
it's a huge amount. So has it been taken very well? Absolutely. A big portion of our players come from India, come from Philippines, come from the GCC areas, Europe, globally, to be honest. And for just 35 dirhams, they donate, they buy a water bottle, which gets donated, and then they get the opportunity to participate in a draw, which has got the potential for their dreams to be realized. So that is what Mazuz is doing today, that it is changing lives for the needy. It is life-changing for the participant. And beyond just the donation of the water bottle, we as a company, eWings is the managing operator of Mazuz. We are very active on the CSR side. To date, from our own, and we are a for-profit organization, but we have had solid commitment, even during the months that we were not operating, when we were doing our systems upgrade. To date, I'm happy to tell you that we have done 180,000 meals. We have provided grocery boxes on a weekly basis to families who have been adversely, badly affected by COVID-19 syndrome, where people have lost jobs, salaries cut into half, households with kids don't have enough money to buy milk even. And us as Ewings, as Mahzouz, previously Emirates Lotto, we stepped in and we contributed. And our commitment that in 6 months, 180,000 meals equivalent of groceries we've done. And that rides within, I mean, that is just one example. We do a lot of CSR also. Other activities, Friends of Cancer Patients, Al Jalila Foundation, for instance. When there was a disaster in Lebanon, we went to Red Crescent and facilitated our gesture, our donation there. So we've got a great team. There's a lot of in store for 2021, which we can discuss later. But yes, Mahzouz has exceeded our expectations. And you can tell from the response we get from our social media when people call us, the winner stories that are there. It's been tremendous.
Right, Mr. Farid, I really want to ask something before we go ahead with this discussion. Something that really stood out was the logo. And I am really intrigued. Is there a story behind that logo that Mahzouz has?
I'm glad you asked that question because there is actually a story. Mahzouz is a young falcon bird, uh, born, nested in the deserts of Liva. Liva is a region as part of Abu Dhabi. So here's a young falcon born in Liva, is trying to learn the art of flying with the mother. And whilst that lessons are taking place, falls down into an oasis, blue water on an oasis. There's a herd of camels that's passing by and rescues this little falcon. And this falcon, from being desperate, fallen, down, dejected, has now got some help and looks forward to life again. So Mahzouz, the bird that fell, counts himself very lucky. That's Mahzouz. That's what Mahzouz is there for, is to bring hope. Now we're all going through terrible times right now. It's been very challenging 2020 to a lot of people. And here comes Mahzouz with the potential of changing people's lives. So yes, that's the ethos and story behind Mahzouz, the brand, the icon.
That's actually very interesting. I mean, I've never come across a story where so much thought is put behind a logo, behind something that is like a mascot, probably, of, Mahzouz. So, very interesting. Mr. Farid, I want to ask you, if you have to define, Mahzouz's vision in one single statement, what would that be?
I've alluded to this before. We are a for-profit, but we have a social conscious. We are here in existence because we believe in changing people's lives. So if there's one line, it's about changing people's lives. We want to create an impact. Now there are winners at all levels of the society to what we do. Everybody is a winner here. Doesn't matter what angle, whether it's the environmental impact we do, social impact that we're doing, whether we are making people realize their dreams. Okay, I'll give you an example. One of the winners of the past uh, from the Filipino community used to work in households, lost the job, uh, is on the last 50 dirhams, and decides to purchase a ticket, purchase a product now, and participate in the draw. Wins a huge amount, a life-changing amount that now catapults springboards that whole family, not just here, but even people in the Philippines. We've had people who are on their way to the airport, came to UAE for one reason or the other, things may not have worked out. And then they were given a call. Sorry, you have participated and you have won. And they've taken a detour back. And life takes a totally different turn for the better for them. And we are very passionate and proud of what this is doing to the society and people.
Right.
So life changing is our bottom line. And we firmly believe in it. And we will continue, whatever we do will be based upon first question, is it life changing or not?
Right. I mean, it's very, very inspiring, Mr. Farid, to, listen to the story of a woman have barely 50 dirhams left and what that 50 dirhams could do to her entire life, her future. So, talking about transforming lives, I'm really intrigued to understand what is Mazu's future plan. Do you have anything, set for 2021 or for the next 5 years? Please elaborate.
Sure. I'll be careful in what I tell you without going into too many details because we want to maintain an element of surprise for people. There's a novelty factor. But I can share with you some things that are going to come up very shortly. First and foremost, right now, the whole process of participating happens online. And it's only in English and Arabic. So we are going to ensure that we reach out to as many participants as possible. So we will shortly be looking at different language options. Malayalam, Hindi, and I got to say the support from the Malayali community has been amazing. Nothing short of that. We've got a lot of winners from south of India. Uh, Indians overall are playing and participating, and it's been tremendous from them. Same for the Filipino community, as I mentioned earlier. Southeast Asia, GCC. So languages is what you're going to see. You're going to see other participating options beyond just the credit card, which is the case now. Customers will be able to go and walk into grocery shops, into gas stations in the UAE, supermarkets. They will not need to have a credit card necessarily. There'll be other cash options. We'll have some kiosks, over 4,000 kiosks, having a self-service option and a cash option to participate. So we're looking at giving better access, whether it's payment methods, whether it's languages. That is what we have got planned in the immediate future. What else? We're looking at other formats, other designs of games. But bottom line of all that will be, are we changing lives? Is this impacting people? Yes, for profit, but is it impacting people? So those are the few things that we have got on the horizon in the future. Obviously, we'll be expanding our CSR base. We'll be expanding how we communicate to our clients on the social media, whether we add other languages. Obviously, we want to bring a lot more participants to the show now because of COVID. We have to observe some strict measures, but once things become better, we want to bring an element, live participation in our studios where the draw is happening live. Okay, so those are the kind of things we have got lined up in the immediate horizon.
Right. Mr. Farid, just, for basic understanding, let's say if a layman, if someone like me, wants to participate, if you can just give me like the top three things I need to do, and some kind of, is there some kind of eligibility criteria to the whole thing? So just for someone, a common man to understand.
Yes, first and foremost, the draw is open to everyone on this planet. Obviously, there are some countries which are sanctioned, we remain guided by our regulators. And these countries are very well known that we cannot accept players residing in those countries and playing and participating. So, but other than that, we're open to globally. Currently, you need to go to our website, mazoos.ae, register. It's a one-time procedure, very simple. You register. Once you register, you can then elect to buy the merchandise, the product. Currently, it's a water bottle, and you elect to donate it. It's a given that you're buying and you're donating. We facilitate that donation. By virtue of buying one bottle, that gives you one entry into the draw. You can choose the numbers that you like. And there's a small tip there I'll give you in choosing the numbers. I think some of your followers will want to know sort of what's the thing to do and not to do. I'll allude to that later. But one purchase of merchandise gets you access to one participation in the draw, one line. We call it a line. There's no restrictions on how many lines you can participate. Each line is 6 numbers. So out of 1 to 49, there are 49 numbers, you decide at your own free will to choose 6 numbers. And you enter into the draw. The draw takes place every Saturday, 9 p.m. UAE time. And it's broadcast live in presence of an independent adjudicator, not an employee of our firm. We've got lovely hosts, Wissam and Ashwarya. In fact, Ashwarya is from state of Kerala. And we've got Wissam, originally from Lebanon. Both have done remarkably well. We absolutely adore them. They are the show hosts. This show happens at 9 p.m. UAE time. You have recorded versions of this, which people who couldn't make it to see the live version on YouTube can see it later. And usually in the show, we show what has happened during the week, the winners, their stories, the life-changing nature, the CSR, and then the 6 numbers that are picked. Straight away, if you're a winner, you will be notified once you log into your account on our website, mazun.ae, and a notification will come to you also by email that you've won. And then there's a very seamless, easy, smooth process how, if you want to claim that money, there's a very simple process to claim that money. We don't do third-party transfers, just for clarity. We only give money to who has won it, and the account should be in their name. Okay, we observe very strictly all the rules of the land, and we are very transparent, and all the winners' details are then shared with the local authorities, so they also are aware that these funds were paid out to the relevant winners. Yeah, so
Right.
that's in a nutshell the entire process. It's a very simple process. It's no complications, and soon you'll have other languages also coming in and other payment methods.
That is really, really interesting to know, Mr. Farid. I'm still curious about the tip that you were supposed to give us.
Absolutely. Yes.
Well, I'm sure, the audience would really, our followers would really like to know that if there is any way you could crack the code, then how is it
Well,
possible?
look, I'll be very honest. There is no cracking of the code. And by the way, all employees of E-Wings and Mazoos are not allowed to play, just for because we don't want any conflicts or any issues. So no employees allowed to say, I can't play, even if I, had. But this tip I'll share with every one of you. You see, you have between 1 to 49 numbers to choose. But what we tend to see is that, and this is just from what we see, the numbers that are typically picked are between 1 and 30 or 31. Now, you want to guess why that happens?
No,
Because
I
of birth
really
dates.
wouldn't know.
Because of birth dates. A lot of people pick birth dates. So wife's birth date, and the mother's and the daughter's and the son's father. And birth dates obviously are between 1 and 31. So a lot of people pick numbers between 1 and 31. Nothing wrong with that. And people don't tend to choose number between 32 and 49. Now this is what happens. 5 out of 6 tier, the second tier, which is 5 correct out of 6, that is a pot of 1 million. And if there are 2 winners, 3 winners, 4 winners, they share that pot. If the numbers that come out of the draw are between 1 and 31, then there are more people who have chosen those numbers. Why? Because of the birth dates. So the chances are that if you pick those numbers and if those numbers come out, you are going to share this 1 million pot. It happened a few weeks ago. We had 9 people share 1 million. And the next week, we had numbers that were not between 1 and 31. They were more on the later side. No winners. Last week, we had one winner, 2 million, because we had a rollover. There was no winner for 1 million for the 5 out of 6 tier. We did a rollover. We don't keep the money. We just rolled it. Next week, the following week, the 5 out of 6 tier was 2 million. And there were no 9 winners, one winner. Why? Because the numbers that came out were not between 1 and 31, all of them. A few were between 1 and 31, a few were between 32 and 49. And people don't tend to choose those numbers. So the people who chose were very few. And one winner walked away, a Chinese lady, happily married in Dubai with a nice son. They were, in fact, in the office recently to complete the formalities for the payments and walked away with 2 million dirhams.
Wow.
Life-changing story that's going to be.
That is really, really interesting, Mr. Farid. Thank you so much, actually, for sharing this, this, I wouldn't say tip, but this slight insight.
Inside.
Yeah, it's actually, it's a little thought-provoking when you think about it, that, yeah, actually, why, most people would settle down for birth dates because they consider that to be their lucky number. So, that is very interesting. Mr. Farid, just to ask you one last, I mean, not a question,
Sure.
but see, I want you to reach out to our audience, and not just our audience, but to all those people who are yearning, for that one glimmer of hope. What would your message be to them?
You see, my message, and it is something I picked up from one of our winners recently. Happily married, thriving career, stays in a swanky, nice villa. And you would tend to think, why does this family need to participate? They've got everything going for them. Touch wood. And we wish them good luck for the future. And that person uttered one line that really struck me home. And the person said, if you don't throw the hook, the fishing hook, into the water, you won't catch any fish. For all of us out there, if you don't try your luck, if you don't embrace Mazuz, chances of you winning, really? Try. Give it a go. Because a lot of our winners, one of the questions we ask them is, so have you won before? Never. Do you participate in draws? Yeah, sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. This was only 35 dirhams, so I thought, let me give it a shot. And now they're like, thank God we participated. So my message to all the participants would be, don't give up. You may never know when Mazuz shines on you. You never know.
Yeah,
Keep
that's
trying.
really nicely put, Mr. Farid. Probably we could say, when you mentioned the word embrace, I thought of, embrace Mazuz and embrace luck, because that's what it means. It doesn't it, the word Mazuz. So, Mr. Farid, thank you so much, for talking to us. And on that note, I really, really wish you all the very best. And, and I really hope that, you know, countless number of people's lives change, and especially given the situation that the world is in right now, I'm really, really hoping that, you like Mazuz, and I'm actually very sure that Mazuz would make a lot of difference in a lot of people's lives.
Thank
So
you.
thank you so much for speaking with me, and I will share the final video with you once it's edited. All right.
Pleasure. Thank you for having me.
Thank
Appreciate
you so much, Mr. Farid. Take care.
it. Thanks.
Yeah. Bye
Cheers.
bye.
Bye. Bye.
They say luck is believing you're lucky. So, if you want to stand a chance to win 50 million dirhams, then log on to www.mahzoos.ae now and grab your chance of a lifetime.